Hi everyone, welcome to the Walt Wines Happy Hour. My name is Jeff Spelly. I'm the general manager for Walt Wines, and I'm excited to be here today with another fantastic guest who just is literally coming out of a huge tournament from the last 3 days, and I'm very excited to bring her on soon. But before, I just wanted to thank everyone who's been a part of these shows, who's been joining us for the Cup for all these different weeks, and hoping that we can bring you a little fun as we continue to do these through the rest of the happy hours, through the rest of the month, and also throughout August and September. Keep in mind, we got some great guests coming. So plenty of things to do on Tuesday afternoons. And feel free to just space out and enjoy some great wine and some great company at the same time. We do have some new specials on the website. Please check those out. Those include an endless summer set of wines. For those of you who want to just keep summer going like the rest of us, we have some really amazing wines, and we're going to be tasting those throughout the happy hours in August. And also be sure to tune in this Friday for the Bob's Ranch release on our Facebook page. We'll have Catherine, we'll have Megan, our winemaker, Allison, our winemaker, and Don Monk in the vineyard. And it's going to be a great educational experience for wines that are made in the Wind Gap, but which is really exciting for me, being that I live in the Wind Gap. Before we get started, though, also always want to take this chance to thank our first responders, thank those who are on the front lines for everything that you're doing to keep us safe, to keep us fed, to keep us healthy. And we hope that you will come join us, all of those first responders, at our tasting rooms. We're open, we're outside, we're having a great time. I actually tasted through, I think, 20 some wines today. On the patio at our Walt tasting room. There's our 2014s as we're getting ready to launch a new vintage tasting, completely outdoors, completely safe. But we're here to hang out with people, and we're here to have some fun with people. I have the great honor of introducing you to a woman named Brandy Wilkerson. She is a professional beach volleyball player. She is the world's best blocker, if you've come to appreciate her. She's also playing outside as her size. She's an amazing athlete. She played rugby in college. She's a 4-letter winner at VB at York University in Canada. She just started playing beach volleyball right after she graduated. Brandy, I'm hoping that you're out there to join me for a glass of wine as I am bringing you in. And we'll see if we can get all the way to Long Beach.
Hello, how's it going?
Hey, Brandy, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. Hey, I wanted to start before we get anything going. You just had a huge tournament. Congratulations, and getting back to the season. I have our 2019 Walt Rosé, and if it's okay, I'm gonna send it south.
Please do.
Whoa, you're really good at that.
Oh, we nailed that. Come on.
We did. That was great.
The 1%.
Never. Let's do it. I mean, typically this is where we get to just have, make me look bad. It's really the point. But here's to you. Congratulations on the internet pass. Cheers.
Thank you. Good start so far.
A good start so far. Yeah. So how is everything going now that the AVP is back and you are playing, and
Yeah.
you're I think the top 3 player in the world. You're the top 3 group in the world. So congratulations to that. How's it feel to be back on the sand?
Oh, it's been really amazing. This past month has flown by. Bittersweet for sure that the series has come to an end, but it's really just reignited this love for the sport and love for competing that we are all just itching for this year. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity and looking forward to more. Hopefully, I feel like things are coming together. We're finding some normalcy. So hopefully.
I'm happy to tear up some vineyard and put in some sand if you guys want to come up and play here. I don't know what that was.
I would love that. All I heard was sand and come up, and I'm done. I'm there.
Boom. I was saying I'd be happy to tear out some vineyard and put some sand down. And, we can truck it in from the coast. We're not too far away, so we can probably figure that out.
Volleyball, I don't know. That's a tough
Maybe
thing.
we drink wine and play volleyball. That's how I would do it, at least.
That's that's my plan for the week, I think.
It's perfect. So, so the men and women played 3 weekends in a row, if I'm
Yeah.
right. Three
Yeah.
separate tournaments. Wasn't really a season.
Yeah.
Um, did you guys all get together? Was there a lot of wine that was drank commiserating with such a short season? Or tell me about what you guys were up to.
Yeah, I mean, during the week, we all kind of doing our own thing, competing. And then that's the thing about the beach volleyball circuit. There's an ebb and flow in that everyone's very serious and very professional leading up to tournaments. But as soon as it's over, we're all friends off the court. We all just want to enjoy the life that we live and the traveling and the competing or whatever it is. So in this case, just coming together back in, the South Bay, whether it's Hermosa or Redondo, and just enjoying each other's company and just happy
Right.
to do what we love to do. So
Yeah.
every Sunday night was a little bit of that, like hang
Oh,
out,
good.
have a couple drinks, enjoy,
Uh-huh.
get back to work.
Get back to work. We have great jobs, by the way. I make wine and you play volleyball. So for those of you who are just getting off work right now, um, this is what we should do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, so tell me about wine at the home. So I know you have an incredibly interesting background. You're the product of an American and a Swiss woman. You grew up in Switzerland. You're from Canada. You played rugby. I mean,
Yeah.
tell me about your story and how wine kind of fit in at the table there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely a lot of just dabbling in a lot of things. My family from everywhere. We've lived all over the world. But the one consistent thing about my family, and especially my relationship with my mother, has
Okay.
been wine.
Great. I need
She,
to meet your mom.
pardon?
I said I need to meet your mom.
Oh, she'd be the first one back. Like if she was here, she'd probably come and jump in. She loves it. She kind of like has brought our family together. It's just that conversation piece to bring everyone together. There's always so much love. And even when I'm in the middle of a season, I come visit her and she's like, do you want a glass? And I'm like, no, I'm training. And then there's a glass in front of me. It
And
doesn't matter. So I just love it. And then I've had a chance to, try so much for so long because it's been, a normal thing at the family household and dinner. So yeah, always curious to try more and different types.
awesome. And Canada's finally started to make some wine. Thank God
Yeah.
that, I enjoy going I haven't been to Ontario to try wine. We do sell our wine in Ontario,
Mhm.
which is I think where I know you went to college there at least.
Yes, I live there as well as in LA. Yeah.
Okay, great. And so exciting for you. What are some of your favorite varietals that are made or wines that are made from Canada, I guess?
Oh, yeah, they have their like vintage line that they have, and then I think there's like a Henry Pelham Baco Noir that is like this kind of
Ooh,
like go-to that I have. So that's like my little Ontario wine go-to. But I'm
okay.
not gonna lie, when I'm at the LCBO, I don't know,
Hmm.
there's no LCBO here, but I always kind
Yep.
of gravitate towards the California section anyways. So I'm split between the two. I love
Well,
both.
you can find a wine called Librisa, which we make from
Yes.
Waltz. We do sell that, and our Chardonnay to
Yes.
the LCBO. For those of you who are American and tuning in, that's the Liquor Control Board of Ontario. Super interesting name for a place to buy fine wine, but
We
you
just
know.
call it Lickbo down.
So my wife is actually Swedish, and so I have to, when I'm in Sweden, I have to go to the Systembolaget to get,
Oh,
wine. So I think Lickbo is probably a step up as far
it's,
as Systembolaget.
yeah, I'm very shocked to hear there's something better than Lickbo, but
It even beats the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board, but we won't get into this
we
too
don't,
much.
we don't have to call everybody out right now.
Exactly, all these crazy governmental liquor stores for some reason. But, anyways, so we have so I've gotten to know you a little bit just by following you along, really the last 3 weeks through the tournament. But our fans that are joining us for Walt Wines don't know you very well, so we like to play rapid fire questions.
Let's
If you
do
would be
this.
willing to do that, okay. Take a big sip, and we'll get into it. I promise it won't get too tough.
I'm gonna
Your
warm
job
up
is
a
to
little bit.
answer with less than 5 words.
Okay, I think I can handle that. I say
Okay,
this
your
now.
softball question. What is your vertical jump?
It's
10
actually
feet.
the word. Okay, I can touch 10.7. I don't know what the vertical is.
And you're 6 feet tall?
I'm 5'11".
You're 5'11". Okay, I'm giving you 6 feet. How's that sound? So that means it's like 3 feet. You're like over 38 inches, probably.
Something around there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's this is me, and then like you're the whole screen. That's awesome. Three things you can't live without.
Ooh. Headphones, like music, headphones.
Okay.
I'm like thinking of what's in my purse. Gum
What's in
and
your purse?
mascara, apparently. I'm just going to say those three. This is rapid fire. I'm saying first things.
Perfect. Good answers. So you have beautiful hair. How do you get sand out of it?
Well, you notice when I play, it's in a bun, and we just
Right.
hide it all. We hide it all. Yeah.
And you put a visor around it, and
try and just keep as little as possible. But there's also this like acceptance that it's going to be there forever until I stop playing.
I went to school in Santa Barbara. We would go to you'd get up, you hit the ocean, then you go to school in your trunks and your sand in your hair.
There you go. It's a lifestyle now.
I mean, let's do it. Okay, so I went on and I got stumped on the AVB website because you're the leader in something called terminal blocks. What is a terminal block? Tougher question to answer in 5 words.
Yeah, terminal block is the ones everyone likes to watch. So they hit the ground right away, point, done.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a terminal block.
So I go up, I'm about ready to hit it. I see you right in front of me and you stuff it right back in my face.
Yeah, and then I get the point for doing that. Terminal.
Terminal block. Go-to karaoke song.
I go with like a Destiny's Child classic.
All right, okay.
A little girl bandish.
All right, that's okay. Don't get me wrong, boys, or New Kids on the Block would be an easy one for me, so that's okay. We can hang tough, right? I'm showing my age, sorry. And then the last question is, if you had anyone to share a glass of wine with, who would it be?
Oh, geez, that's tough. Oh, so I can name 5 people because I can use 5 words.
There you go. Well, if they have 2 names, if it's like Madonna and Beyonce, you get away with it. But then you can keep going.
Oh.
But if it's like Nelson Mandela, that's like 2, right?
That's okay. That's fair because some of these people, and like if I said like Dwayne the Rock Johnson, like we'd be done.
Oh, we'd be done. However, that would be a great answer.
There we go.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Well, you got one more, but we'll give it to you. Well, cheers. Thank you so much for that. When you're down in LA, if you see Dwayne and you can get him to drink some wine, that would be great. I'd love to drink some wall wine.
I'll make sure it's this rosé right here because this is delicious.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so this is it's a rosé that's made in what's called the Sonier method. So this is my terminal block technical term for the viewers today. So rosé can be made 2 different ways. The way we make it is through what's called bleeding the tank. So that's Sonier in French, is to bleed. Okay. And what we're going to do is to make this very pretty, you see this kind of pink salmon color, I think, through the Instagram. Mm-hmm. You bleed just a little bit of that fresh first run juice, and that tends to be lighter in color, that really pretty salmon color that we have. This is before you ever ferment it. So all the grapes go into the tank, they sit there, they start to collect, the juice starts to collect color from the skins, and then as it's bled from the tank, we capture that first little bit, we put it in barrel, a little bit in barrel, a little bit in stainless steel, and then we ferment in those vessels. And that's how you get that really bright, crisp acidity, that really fresh flavor. You get more of that red fruit, strawberries and rose petals versus the darker fruits that we might find in the next wine, and it's really nice and refreshing and perfect for a summer day. So
perfect for summer. It's got a beautiful balance. So
yeah, one of the hardest things to explain sometimes is the reason why we use these really complicated terms for really simple explanations. We say cooperage, and it just means storing wine.
Because it sounds way cooler. There's no other answer.
Have you been up to visit wine country? I know either in Canada or in the United States.
I have not. That's something I've always wanted to do. I kind of just want to dedicate a little bit of like vacation time within my season to do that. So it's still on my bucket list for sure.
Okay. And
Yeah,
since the season's over, can you come see us?
absolutely. I think my schedule is pretty clear now. So
It's pretty clear. Let's do it. I've got a pretty empty tasting room. I'm just kidding. We're not that I'm busy, but no, but we are outside. It's a beautiful city. It's about 80 degrees right now in Sonoma. And I just was there, obviously, in my picture before that.
yeah.
Um, well, if it's okay, I wanted to pour you a red wine, and I think from what we talked about ahead of time, you're more of a red connoisseur. So I was interested in actually hearing your
Connoisseur is a
take.
loose word, but yes.
All right, so this is Brown Ranch, I think. If we have
Okay.
the brown. Oh, wait, you already have the bottle. Look
No.
at that. No.
I haven't gotten.
And it's Barao. Now that's how we normally play
That's
the
how
Battle
you.
Pass game. So Brown Ranch, I think, is the same wine that you had. I know we had some problems with the airlines. They lost your luggage in our wine, so we switched up. For those of you who are chiming in from home, we're now drinking a wine from Carneros, which is in the south part of Napa. So Napa is known more for making Cabernet, and we make Cabernet Sauvignon with the Hall brand, which is Catherine and Craig's Halls. They make all of these wines. And this one, for me, always has a very seamless palate. It's very just ubiquitous and smooth. It has more cranberry and red fruit than dark fruit. And it comes from an area that is weirdly sunny. I don't know what that is in the background, by the way. We're getting like rings. No, it's fine. For the viewers at home, I'm not sure what's going on. It tends to have more cranberry and red fruit, but I'm interested in what you think of this one.
Okay, here we go. This is delicious.
I like
Okay.
it? Okay.
I love it. I really do. I really do. I'm not a connoisseur at all, but this is what I would say to my friends is
Ah.
I just think it's got nice body without it being too heavy, a nice
Mm-hmm.
rich finish and light on the palate, and it's kind of spicy undertone, I feel, and I just
Okay.
Good
job. That's all really good, actually. No, that was a great description. I totally pick up a little bit of spice in the wine, a little spicy, and some good concentration. Who on the tour drinks wine with you?
Ooh. Well, obviously my partner in Canada, Heather Bainsley, her and I, if we win a tournament, you know what, even if we don't, we like to get a bottle of wine and just enjoy and relax, decompress. And then we have some of the Canadian guy friends, and then I have some American friends as well that will always be down for a drink. So it really brings us all together. Yeah.
Yeah. No, wine is definitely the unifier, right? It's made all over the country. It's made all over the world.
Yeah.
I've been to France. I've been to Canada and drinking wine. For sure. So is it more like 2 bottles between you and your partner, or is it more like
Depends. Is there a tournament the next weekend or in like 2 weeks? That's how many bottles you get to bring.
There we go. So we had the manager of the Giants on, and he went through this, like, there was like this ritual of how he and the general manager drank wine together.
Okay.
If they lost, it was no wine. The general manager brought no wine to the party. It was all beer. And if there was a close game, like your matches were at the AVP, then it was wine. And if it was a win, it was wine. So I didn't understand the difference, but
Either way, don't lose, so you can drink at least a little bit of wine.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree. Well, cheers to you.
Cheers. Sorry.
To everything. Oh, it's all right.
Quick. Sorry.
Hey, live television, it happens all the time. One of the questions so we're starting to see questions come in, and one of the questions that we've had is, well, other than people suggesting some really terrific Canadian wines, what's your favorite wine memory?
Ooh, I'll have to say that a player that's also on the world tour, she plays for the Netherlands. We became good friends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And her and I actually did a little trip Italy together after a tournament.
Nice.
And we went to like an organic vineyard and got to have like a little private tour. It was like a family vineyard. We didn't even know what we were getting ourselves into, but they were so sweet. And they sat us down with some lovely little appetizers and a couple different white wines to try. And we just hung out and caught up and had this beautiful Italian vineyard surrounding us. And yeah, it was really special. I had never experienced something like that before. So yeah.
No, I totally agree. I had 2 years ago, I had the great fortune to go to Burgundy and Champagne.
Oh.
And I was, and the Champagne was, so Burgundy makes sense. Burgundy is Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
And so the owners took a group of us there, and it was like this bucket list trip where we got hosted by Olivier Krug so Champagne, Krug Champagne.
Yeah.
That was like, poof. And then we went to Burgundy and we were hosted by the barrel maker. So the people who make the barrels that we put our wines in and age our wines in. And it just, we're sitting, the 10 of us are sitting outside in their little villa in Saint Roman, and, we're drinking French Burgundy and we're all hanging out, and just like, these are the moments, right?
Like
that
just look back and you're like, how is this even real life right now? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we all already have incredible lives. You get to go play in some of the most memorable places in the world,
yeah,
and on a beach. So that was my question for you was, what's your favorite beach?
Oh, I'm going to give it to Brazil. I love Rio and Itapema. I spent a lot of time down there, and the culture, the beach, everything's beautiful. Yeah. I could move down there. I think it's like one of those places I would live.
Well, I think, weren't you down there preparing for the Olympics before?
Yeah, so we went straight from Brazil back to Canada when all of this was going on, and kind of.
And it was the Canadian national team, right? You were with all of your Canadian nationals. You play on the national team.
Yes, we play. So my partner and I have a coach now. He's Brazilian and lives down there. So we came down to train with his core group of coaches that we work with, and make a little training camp, because it was like March, so there's definitely probably snow on the floor.
For sure.
So got to get away.
I was going to ask you how a group of Canadians became so good at beach volleyball.
Right? I think it's because we got tough skin. Like, we could just take it. So we'll just like make it work however we will. And it's translated onto the court, I guess.
It has. I mean, you guys you're like I said before, and when we were talking earlier, I mean, you guys are a serious competitor. The United States we're going to have to really step up our game now, because Canada's coming for us. And we didn't see it coming, because
That's right.
I don't know what you guys are doing, how you're creating a beach above that 45th parallel, but it's, it's pretty awesome.
Somehow. Yes. No, it's great. And I mean, we have to definitely attribute a lot of it to training with the Americans so often. We spend a lot of, like, half of our year in LA, basically, training with all the teams down there. So I think we feed off of each other well.
So is LA is that outside of Brazil? Because I know that's really popular in Brazil.
Like,
is that the hotbed?
That's right. Yeah.
The culture, so for those of you who are looking for good volleyball, the culture of volleyball is located in Long Beach and Redondo, two of my favorite beaches, by the way. So outside of Santa Barbara, of course, for those who are tuning in from Santa Barbara. I love that beach.
I have to go visit and come.
Oh, there's an incredible wine scene, by the way. So make sure you want to spend a lot of time on the beach and in Santa Barbara in general, but go north about 45 minutes. That's where we actually own a vineyard. And we make Pinot Noir from that vineyard. It's called Clos Pepe. So, or just let me know when you're, in the States, or you're in the States now. I can send you some Clos Pepe.
Yes, we're going to figure this out. I'm very excited.
Exactly. So let me see. We asked what region you'd want to visit once you're traveling. Well, actually, we'll ask you that question. So Bordeaux Blonde asks us, what other wine region do you want to visit when traveling is safe?
Ooh, South Africa?
South Africa. Can I come? That would be fun.
We're going to South Africa is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think let's do that. South Africa's, native grape is a grape called Pinotage. So if you ever have a chance to grab a bottle of Pinotage.
Okay, I will look at
it's kind of a heavier version of Pinot. It's really earthy too. So
interesting. I like earthy.
All right. So how are you going to celebrate your Olympic success? That comes from M. Sherbert.
Oh, geez, you would think I had this planned out already, but I have like seven different ideas. I mean, it's going to be in Japan, Tokyo, which is
Hmm.
already just an amazing country, but it's also close to a lot of other Asian islands that I've never been to, like Bali and all these places. So debating just escaping to some private island somewhere and just enjoying that tropical scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, as long as my family and my friends are there, I think spending time with them would be the best way.
So I'm going to ask you an interesting question about travel. So I read that you were inspired to play beach volleyball after you watched the 2012 Olympics, which were held in London.
Yeah.
And they had a really interesting court there. I was actually in London right before and they set up at Whitechapel, which is this, historic part of London if you've never been there, in this old white chapel. So if you could put a beach anywhere, where would you want to play?
Oh, wow. I hadn't thought of this.
These are hard questions. I'm sorry.
It
We'll have
is,
to
and
drink more
also
next time.
because get a little more creative.
Yeah.
You know what? The idea that I saw for Paris, the 2020, what is that, 8 maybe or 24? I should know this.
I'm
It's
going with
just
it.
right under the Eiffel Tower. They had the beach court ideally set up, and that is pretty hard to beat. I mean,
There you go. Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
I just can't imagine because you can put a court anywhere you can find sand,
Exactly.
and I think there's a certain depth that has to be. There's all these rules that you guys put on yourselves. I mean, I
Make it
guess.
so complicated.
So we can put grapes in the ground just about anywhere and just see how it goes.
I'm
Only
wondering how much beach volleyball and the vineyards are coming together like this.
Well, sand is actually a dominant soil type in a lot of the areas where we grow. And because so Megan is our winemaker, super talented. She's our director of winemaking, and Allison is focuses on Walt. But what Megan always tells me is, Jeff, Pinot likes an ocean view. And by that, what she means is that we have to be in this area of a growing area, which is close to that coastal influence, so that we have the cooling factors, but we need enough sun to keep it warm. So, as you know, since you play in beaches all the time, typically it's not sunny till about 11 o'clock. And that's perfect for Pinot Noir. Oh,
Sorry.
no, you're okay. You're great. I had Sherry Somm on a couple weeks ago, and I literally dropped off like 4 times.
No, I know. It's like you think with quarantine we would figure all this out.
Well, so I mean, in quarantine, one of the questions is, how are you keeping your mind focused and on volleyball and without being able to practice with a whole bunch of people? What are you up to in the quarantine?
Well, I think training, keeping your body in shape is always going to be kind of priority, and it's a lifestyle, right? We're not just training because we have to like look good on the court. We have to stay healthy and keep our bodies active and all of that. And for me, a lot of the reason is like, why am I doing this? Why am I choosing to go through these long regimens and train for 4 years
Right.
for one? So my whys have kept me inspired to still put in work and still be ready for when the opportunity comes. So, I mean, in a practical sense, I've just been exploring a lot of different types of working out. I get to do a lot more yoga than I usually do.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and just playing other sports even, and just taking a break sometimes too, because I had some lingering injuries that
Uh-huh.
finally get a chance to heal, and, just kind of rediscovering this love for this sport. So, yeah.
Awesome. What's your favorite sport you've discovered in it, I guess, in that period?
So I've been playing a lot of tennis, actually, because I secretly wished I was really good at it.
Okay, I'm just going to take a second. So you've played rugby, you've played basketball, I think.
Yeah. Yes.
You decided to play beach volleyball at a professional level after college,
Yes.
and you're now playing in the Olympics, and you just picked up tennis.
You're giving
So
me way too much credit.
you're Canadian. When is hockey coming?
You know what? That's one sport I actually have never tried. I've never picked up a stick and gone on the ice. So
it's too
Maybe
cold, right?
post-career Winter Olympics? No. I'm kidding.
Maybe, maybe if we get to do that in 2 years, that'd be terrific.
Right?
Yeah, right. Absolutely. So I wanted to see if you had any questions for us or any questions for anybody or anything I can answer for you before you were so generous to come on and right after you played. So,
Oh no, I mean, I feel so honored to be able to spend this time and even learn so much for you. I really love that Pinot Grigio needs an ocean view, like those little like tidbits that I can. I feel like a wine, like growing my wine knowledge is something I always have wanted to also do. I have these
uh
little books I want to read, and so any other fun facts, and also to be able to explain how rosé is made. I have so many friends that are like, you just mix white wine and red wine
oh, yeah.
together. So debunking that and feeling like a professional has been worth it so much. But yeah, if there's any other fun things I can tell people or straighten out some rumors on your behalf, I would be happy to.
You can help me just demystify wine all the time. That would be terrific because we often get ourselves into a position where we speak in our own kind of language in our own heads, and people always, like the first question people ask me usually is, if there's leather in your flavor, like how do you get leather into wine? Like what is
Yes,
that?
okay, that's another one. Okay, but you know what? I'm so happy you brought this up because now I will ask you this. My friends and I
Okay.
play a game where we just drink the wine and then we guess what the label is saying. And like
Oh.
we're like, for sure it says like cranberries, cinnamon, and cigars or something like that. But I don't understand where those come from at all.
For sure. So there's no great one answer to what you just asked,
Okay.
but no, in general, so fruit is driven. So Pinot Noir especially is
Hmm.
driven. Flavors are driven by the soil types. Pinot Noir tends to pull more of those earth-driven flavors if you're in a type of soil that pulls that up. So the example I'm going to give is this wine tends to be more pure, right? So if you were to smell it, you're going to not have a sense of, let's call it valley floor. You're not going to smell any like pine needles. You're not going to smell green flavors. You're not going to smell wet moss or anything like that, right? Those are actually very common aromatics and flavors in Pinot Noir, but they
Okay.
tend to be from areas that is much cooler, particularly in Oregon or in Burgundy, right? California wines tend to take a more pure flavor. So that's where you get more of that cranberry that you were talking about, or dark fruits, cassis, Cabernet Sauvignon tends to always have this like blackberry flavor to it.
Yes.
And then there's this thing called secondary and tertiary flavors. These means like the primary flavors are those fruit characteristics, and the
Okay.
secondary and tertiary flavors are usually flavors that are derived from how we're going to make the wine. So in a wine made in a concrete vessel may pick up more of the mineral components in the wine. Oak tends to provide more spice to the wine. So if you already have a wine that has spice, it's going to drive that spice flavor up. So those
Interesting.
are that's how we do it. And then sometimes we just drop a little,
Just
just kidding, we don't do that.
a little bit of love.
No, we don't do that. No, it's very weird. When I was just learning wine, that was something that I was just very confused about. Was I was in restaurants, and so I was pairing food a lot, and I was just like, how does this always taste different? And it's literally just the land. We are not difficult to
Yes.
understand at the basis of it. So
Okay. I mean, it's so complex and so simple at the same time. And I think that's why it's so beautiful and why everyone loves wine so much. Yeah.
I think people love wine for a lot of different reasons, but I think the I mean, I
There's
like it.
secondary and tertiary reasons for sure.
Oh, for sure. You nailed it. Look at you. You're talking in the language. Yeah, I like to say it's just, after school ends and I've got to get my kids, or work or
You
whatever.
gotta make it through the day. Yeah. Either way.
Yes, exactly. Well, hey, I just so we always like to give our guests an opportunity if there's anything they wanted to say to their fans. You have a lot of fans. I think you have like 30,000 people that follow you every day. If there's anything you wanted to say to them, thank you for your time.
Oh, well, thank you for this and thank you for teaching me more about this. Thank you for this platform and to my fans out there, I really appreciate and really feel the love and support, even when we're playing events with no people around and it's a totally different atmosphere. The amount of messages and just comments and everything, we hear you, we see you, and we're out here playing for you. So if there's anything that I can help people with, feel free to get in touch.
Right. Well, thank you. And thank you for giving me sport on the weekends, the last 3 weekends. I can't thank you enough for that. We're getting ready for harvest, and I won't have a lot of time on my hands, but it's nice to just sit, enjoy a nice glass of wine, and watch people play sports. So this is Brandy Wilkerson. For those of you who are just joining us late, thank you so much for for joining us today. For those of you, be sure to tune in tomorrow to see Catherine Hall on the Hall Wines Instagram. She'll be hanging out and drinking some incredible wines only available to members. And then Friday, we have our Facebook show where we're going to be talking about Bob's Ranch and the release event that we normally host in our vineyards with a whole bunch of people. We'll be doing it virtually. So Brandy, I hope you can tune in for that and drink some wines for that. I know you got a Bob's Ranch. Thank you. It was a pleasure to meet you. You're so lovely. Thank you. And good luck.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to following.
Excellent. Thanks so much. Have a great week, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers.